Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing just a lot of recently launched items from a few prestige brands from Ulta Beauty and Sephora. So if you'd like to see all these brand new launches, see how the products perform, the prices, get some information on them, as well as my initial first impressions, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Now for me and my makeup routine, I love to start with my eyes, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna begin by looking at the Jean-Luc Cosmetics The Everything palette. This actually was the Everything bundle, which came with these 4 matte liquid lipsticks and the palette itself. The full bundle is $76 when it's originally priced at $96, so you get a pretty decent discount if you order it all together. Now Jean-Luc did send these to me to review for you guys, just so you know beforehand. So let's open it up and check it out. A+ for packaging. The Everything having a rainbow in it when it reflects. That is so pretty and holographic, and I love it. And it's silver. Just very clean. I like it. And on the back of the palette, it shows the Jean-Luc logo as well as the ingredients on the top. And this palette by itself is $30 if you choose just to get the palette. I will have it linked below. I'll try to remember to have everything linked below. Everything linked below. Cute. Now let's see what the palette looks like. Oh, okay. So it's mainly a fully nude palette, but with a few pops of color. We've got a little bit of some mauves going on, pink and purple. Really, that's the only real colors I see. Definitely lots of nudes though, so we're going to be able to create a nice wearable everyday kind of look. Now for the liquid lipsticks, all of these are $16 each. These were sent with the Everything bundle, but I actually did get sent the original line when they first launched. So we've really got 6 more shades to go with the 4 new shades, so we can pick really any lip to pair up with the eye look that we create, depending on what it is. I actually meant to give you guys a swatch video on Instagram of all these lipsticks when I got them originally, but I kept getting new things and kept putting it in front of it, trying to keep everything in order, and, you know, just lost track of time, lost track of things, and I found them again, so here they are, and I'm going to try to give you guys as many swatches as I can so you can see what all of the shades look like together. So to get ready for the eye look, I'm going to go off camera and prime my eyes using my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base in the shade Medium, and I'll be right back. Eyes are primed, obviously, so now I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the eyeshadow palette. And I've decided, since I'm gonna be using a new liner today, I'm gonna keep the eye look really soft, light, and really wearable. And I'm gonna remember that the entire time I'm creating the look, so I don't get it too dark and dramatic like I normally do. So I'm gonna start with this Morphe X Every Star JS6 brush. I feel like I always start with this brush lately. And I'm gonna use the shade Bestie here. It's a little bit of a rosy, muted, soft mauve pink, kinda sorta. And I'm gonna start filling the shade in the crease, just mainly all over. I'm getting a little bit of fallout. I can see little beads of color under my eyes, but it's not a whole lot, and I didn't tap off the brush either. So I'm just going straight from the palette right onto the eye. And this shade is a little powdery in the pan. There's quite a lot of kickback, but the pigment from it is real. I mean, that's 2 dips into the pan, and it's very, very potent. So no problems with it so far. That almost looks like a cream shadow. It's so opaque. You know, I think that's all I'm gonna do with that shade. It's just such a beautiful color. What would you guys call this color if you had to name it? Because it's sort of red, it's sort of pink, it's got a little bit of purple in it, I think. I don't know. It's beautiful. Okay guys, this is it. What do you guys think of the look? I think it's so beautiful. I love the color, very pigmented. It performed great. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now let's move on to the next color. I'm sorry. Next, I'm gonna use the Laura Los Angeles L19 brush. Yes, that's right, L19. And I'm gonna use the shade Orange Soda, this one right here, and I'm gonna blend out Bestie with Orange Soda. First, we're just gonna press half on the previous shade, half on bare skin. Oh yeah, I'm thinking this is gonna be really beautiful already. Now I know for sure there's absolutely no way that this L19 brush is gonna do a great job at blending because it's so dense. So I'm switching to this Morphe M456 brush, and I'm gonna use this brush to blend between the orange and the whatever color. Oh, honey, look at that blend. Ooh, she is so soft. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Now I'm gonna take this Morphe fluffy brush. I don't know what it's called, but it's got a little bit of a taper to it at the top so I can get focused if I need to, or I can keep it really diffused and pushed out. But I'm gonna use the shade Cream Pie, this one here, kind of a yellowy cream. And that's going to be the shade that I use to blend out the outermost edge. So again, just going to press the color on, half on my skin, half on the previous shade, all the way around, and then blend it out. I think maybe the mattes are where I want them to be now. I've got a little bit of dimension, but it's not a whole lot. It's still light. A black liner is going to look fantastic on top, but now it's time to add shimmer. So with this palette, we've got 4 options for shimmer. There's Sickening, Yow! Goddess, and So Glam. I'm sort of torn because they would all look gorgeous with this look, but I think maybe for today I'm feeling Yow on the lid and perhaps Sickening on the brow bone. I think that'd be pretty. So we're gonna take Yow and just put it on the lid. Oh yes, that is a good choice for this look. Ooh. But I've used up the swatch that was on my finger now, so I'm gonna use the Nikita X Morphe In2 brush and just get this applied everywhere. Okay, so majority of the eye look is done. We just have to finish off the lower lash line. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and get my foundation applied so we can be ready to come back and use the One Size concealer and test this baby out. So give me just a second and I'll be right back. Got my skin looking flawless, but let's make these dark under eyes disappear. So we're gonna turn up the base with the One Size Turn Up the Base concealer. I got this from Sephora for 25 bucks. It says it's medium to full coverage. It's waterproof and it acts as a most targeted texture solver, gliding on skin like butter on toast. So let's butter this crusty toast, which is my face, with this hopefully beautiful concealer. Now I got the shade Light 3 In. It says it's light neutral undertones. Looks like it's gonna be a really good shade for me. So let's see how she looks going on. The metallic red packaging is gorgeous. I love how it looks like steel almost. Wow, is that almost an exact match to my foundation? I think once I blend that out, it might be. Okay, so it does go on really, really smooth, kind of like butter on toast. It does actually feel really creamy. And I'm not going to do too much highlighting. I feel like this shade is pretty close to my foundation shade already. So I don't even know how much highlighting I'll get out of it, but I am going to try just a little bit. I like to get a little bit of highlighting done if I can. Now let's blend and see how she performs. Good news, melted right into the skin on the forehead. Oh, and by the way, just so you guys know for reference, I'm using a combination of the NARS Soft Matte Foundation as well as the Becca Skin Love Weightless Blur Foundation. This one's just a little bit too matte for my skin, and this one's just a little bit too glowy for my personal preference, so the two together make a perfect combo. Wow, now that I'm trying to blend this out, I'm realizing how thick it truly is. Definitely do not recommend letting this set. Okay, I think I finally got all the edges blended out. That was so scary. It makes sense that this is a Patrick Star product though, because it's very full coverage. It's very drag, if you will. Now, before we can set any of these wet products on the skin, let's use the Anastasia Cream Blush and Bronzer. I got both of these from Ulta. The bronzer is $35 and comes in 7 different shades. That's insane for a bronzer. Usually you see like 3 or 4 color tones taken care of, but nobody deeper. This time that is not the case. Then the blushes are $32 and they come in 5 different shades. I have the blush in the shade Peachy Keen and the bronzer in the shade Amber. I'm gonna start with bronzer so I can get a little bit of definition, and I need some jawline structure. So I'm gonna use my Eco Tools Seamless Stippling Brush, and it feels super creamy. Just taking the brush and dipping into the top of it, already it feels a lot softer than a few of the other cream bronzers I've used. We're just gonna start stippling it right back here, bring it forward up to my pupil, and then just start blending upward. So far, not mad at the color. It's not too warm like I thought it was gonna be in the pan. It is still warm, but not too warm. I think I picked up way too much for my first dip into the pan though. That's fine. We learn from our mistakes. We move on. Oh, the stippling brush is just the perfect brush for this though. You know, I can build up my pigment, get it really intense where I want it to be really intense, and then just use a light touch and stipple around these edges so it can blend into the foundation. Perfection. Now it says this is a matte bronzer. I'm getting quite a lot of reflect out of it from it being a matte bronzer though. But that could just be that it's not dry yet. Okay, here's half and half. What do you think so far? Is it too warm? Is it bronzy enough? Is it matte? Don't know that I see matte. It's decided. This bronzer is stunning. It looks so natural. This is a bronzer I could take just on the daily, use my ring finger and put it on where I need it and be done. But now let's see if Peachy Keen is gonna give us the same type of results or if we're gonna be left wanting more. Ooh, that's a really pretty component. And it's bite size. It's so teeny tiny. So on one side, we've got a little blender brush. I don't know that I'm gonna be using that brush today since I have everything I need in front of me. But for on-the-go scenarios, that's kind of perfect. And now the Peachy Keen blush is on the other side. And since I don't know how crazy pigmented or not this is yet, I'm gonna use my Real Techniques 004 blush brush. And I'm just gonna get some of the product right off of the component itself, then put it on. Well, I say that, but it's really not picking a whole lot up. Here, I'll just try with the little bit that I have picked up, see if it transfers over. If not, we'll try something else. It does a little, okay. I see a little bit of color going down, getting some flush to my skin. That little bit of pigment surprisingly does spread quite well. It's not a whole lot, it was just a tiny little bit of pigment, but it carried from the high point of my cheekbone to my actual cheek. So I'd say that's pretty decent, but I'm gonna need this to go a lot faster. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take the stick on the back of my hand, rub some out, rub some on, then take my brush into it. That should give me a lot more payoff a lot faster. Oh yeah, there's some color. Oh, you stunning little blush you. Okay, that is the most adorable little flush of a color on my skin. It looks like I don't even have any foundation on and my skin is just perfect and flushed. And tan, might I add. Now I need to set my face, because this stuff is gonna move everywhere if I don't. Since I don't have any new powders today, I'm gonna do that off camera. Then we'll continue with the Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm palette. My face is nice and set now. We have no creaminess, no tackiness to transfer anywhere. So let's move in to Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm face palette. This palette was $75. Yes, you heard that right. And we have 4 shades in here. 1 is for Super Glow, 2 is for Multi Glow, 3 is for Soft Sculpt, and 4 is for Super Sculpt. So we've essentially got 2 highlighters and 2 bronzers / contours and A++++ for packaging. It better be for the price that it is, but still, this is so gorgeous. The little starburst thing is like in front of the image of the woman, and it just looks really cool. It looks like 3D, like the starburst is coming out at you. But the palette itself and the 4 shades it contains look like this. It is really pretty. The only downside is the range in this is kind of disappointing. Not for me, obviously, or not for someone if you've got fair skin, but if you have anything darker than like medium, you're not gonna be able to use this palette. Maybe the highlighter, but that's about it. And that's really disappointing. There should have at least been multiple versions of the palette so that everybody could have an option. Maybe there will be more and better versions in the future. Who knows? I'm gonna begin with the Larousse flat powder brush, and I'll start with the shade here as a contour just to give me a little bit of definition. I don't know if it's gonna be dark enough to work though. I might have to go into the shade that has Love on it. This is just so beautiful. I don't even want to break the pan. I'm like barely touching the surface of the pan just to hope that I don't wind it down too much. Very nice mirror size, and it's the perfect size to fit my whole face in. Let's see if she's cool toned enough to be a contour. Oh yeah, okay, I think it is. And luckily, since I have quite a bit of dimension added already with the bronzer, I'm just gonna kind of go around the outer edges, the perimeter, if you will. Cool it down, deepen it up, just make it look like it's a shadow. I believe that is quite a perfect contour. That does mean that I'm going to avoid the darker shade, but just so you guys can see for reference, there's the lighter shade that I just put on, very cool contouring, and there's the darker shade. It's actually quite a bit darker. So medium skin tones could have a contour. just not deep or deep dark. Now for highlighter. I'm gonna use the Morphe M451 brush for this, and I'm gonna use the first one, the one that has more of like a champagne-y golden kind of highlight. Maybe I'll try the pink one as an eyeshadow or something some other time. Okay, time for Nudegasm on my cheek. Ooh, that is a very beautiful natural glow. It's got a little bit of intensity just to make it a cute highlight, but it's not too bad and not too much. Not that I have a problem with too much when it comes to a highlighter, but today's vibe is not that. So we're just gonna close her up, put her to the side, and we're done with Charlotte, darling. For now. We're never completely done with Charlotte. What do you say we finish off the lower lash line? How about it? This is gonna be so easy, you're gonna wanna slap your mama. First, we're gonna use the JS6 brush that we used earlier in the shade Bestie and go right back into Bestie. We're just gonna pull her all along the lower lash line from inner corner to outer corner. And then gonna take cream soda on the same brush I used earlier and just smoke out the outer edge with cream soda. And you guys already know I'm gonna take my Harry Potter X Ulta the stone brush and go back into the shade Sickening, plop that down right on my inner corner. You know I gotta have the bling. And for the eyes, that is everything. Ah, you see what I did there? We've still got a couple of things to go, but I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and get my brows done and some liner in the waterline. I don't know what color yet, but we'll find out by the time I come back, that's for sure. BRB. Brows are on fleeky fleek, and I used a ColourPop liner in my waterline. It's the Bambi collection, and I picked the shade Raindrops. But it's like the exact same color as my waterline. It's just metallic, so it just looks like I have a really wet waterline. It is now time for lips, and we're gonna go in with the Morphe Make It Big collection. This is a brush tip liquid liner, a mascara primer, a mascara, and a lip plumper. Since I'm gonna be working on lips first, we're gonna go ahead and open up and use the lip plumper. Now Morphe did send over the Make It Big collection, so we're featuring it in today's video. They actually have a lot of different shades of the lip plumper. This one is just in the shade In the Clear, so it's their clear plumper. And the plumper by itself is $12. The component is just their typical little gloss container, but it says Make It Big on the front of it. I'm curious to feel what kind of plumping this has in it though. If it's more of like the cooling, icy kind of feel, or if it's more like a chili pepper. Let's find out. Oh, wow. That tastes exactly like the ColourPop lip plumpers. It's definitely got that spearmint kind of taste. I didn't realize it was gonna be as glossy as it is. I think it's more of a lip gloss that is also plumping. The whole reason why I even started with that for the lips is so I could get a good plump going before I put on lip liner and lipstick. Since this is a gloss though, I'm just gonna take it off. We're gonna use the lip liner and the lipstick and then put the plumper on top of the lipstick since it's a gloss. For our lip liner, we've got Buxom Powerline. These actually do come in 10 different shades. And the shades I've got with me today are Dangerous Dolly and Hush Hush Henna. I got these lip liners from Ulta and they were $16 each, which when I saw that price, I thought it was wrong because Buxom, $16 for a lip liner, that just doesn't sound right to me. I was thinking more along the lines of like 28 to 32, that kind of range, but they're only 18. Good news. I was really excited about these though because they have the liner on one side, which by the way is a wedge shape, so you can pretty much always have a sharp line on one side, but then the other side is a lip brush, so you can get a nice clean line all the way around without having to deal with bumpy texture or anything that you don't like out of it. And I think for today, I'm gonna go for the more reddish tone and line the lips. This is literally my favorite lip pencil component now. This is what all lip pencils need to be. That is all. Thank you. Now, liquid lipstick from Jean-Luc Cosmetics. I didn't realize how great of a range of lipsticks these were. This is like a nude rainbow from top to bottom. So the shades in order from top to bottom are Pride, Opulence, Nudie, Muffin Top, Just Friends, Pinky Promise, Femme, Bear, Fruity, and Flamer. And for today's look, I think I'm choosing the shade Nudie. This lipstick is super matte, but I don't feel it tightening on my lips, giving me butthole lip, and that's fantastic. And luckily, the lip liner melted into the lipstick flawlessly. So we're good to go. Now it is for sure time to finish off the look and throw on the liner and mascara. So let's finish off with the Make It Big collection. The Make It Big liquid liner is a brush tip. Thank goodness, I love me a good brush tip. And it's only 12 bucks. And let's see if it has a little shaky thing inside. It does. So let's shake well before we use it. And let's see if it's as magical as I hope it is. I mean, can you see how sharp that is? And how black that is? And luckily, this is the type of liner that you can apply over itself multiple times and you don't have to worry about it peeling up and getting crusty, which is really great for somebody like me who's super OCD and you like to go back over your lines to make them even better lines. This pen is definitely giving me that kind of satisfaction, so I'm here for it. Wings are done and I'm about to fly away with these wings. I feel like if I blink really fast, I'm just gonna start lifting up out of the chair. Now it's time to use the primer and mascara, but first I'm gonna go off camera and curl my lashes. Now time for the big Prime Lash Primer. I've never used a Morphe Lash Primer before. This one is $10. Whoa, it's blue! Okay, I'm not gonna complain over some blue lash primer. I hope the blue doesn't stick, but I sure do love blue. I will say while I'm putting it on, I do actually prefer tinted lash primers, not black tinted, but like white, blue, whatever, you know, something that I can tell where I have the most coverage and where I need more coverage. Makes it a lot easier to build up where you need it to be. Now we're just gonna let that dry and then we'll go in with the mascara. Now that the blue, I think, is dry on this side, we're gonna now use the Morphe Make It Big mascara. This mascara is only 12 bucks on the Morphe website. And we're just gonna go right on top of this primer and see what happens. Ooh, we've got an hourglass shape, so we're definitely gonna be able to get volume out of this. And the primer mascara wand was more of an elongated straight wand, and that usually helps out with elongating. So this could be best of both worlds. And since my lashes are now very blue, I can tell very clearly once I have them covered. They are not lying when they called this Make It Big. This is literally a perfect combo to get nice, full, fluffy looking lashes. They are so full and quite long. Now let's make the other side match. I had just realized that I'd completely forgotten to put the plumper back on, so I did go ahead and just throw it back on. I can definitely still feel the super icy plumpness, but not nearly as intensely as I could before. So as a gloss, it's still plumping, just not as effective. If you wear it just by itself, you'll get a lot more effectiveness, especially if you do it right after a lip exfoliation. Then your lips are gonna be primed and ready and prepped for that product to just be soaked in. Now I'm gonna pop off camera one last time, throw on my Morphe Make It Big mascara on the lower lashes. I'm not gonna use the primer for the lower lashes because they are long enough. I don't need to add any more length. And once I finish that off, we are officially done with today's look. So give me just a second, I'll be right back. For real this time, here we are with the finished look. What do you guys think? And before I give my actual final thoughts, I want you to pause for just a second and leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite product from the products we used today was. Was it the liner, the mascara, the lipsticks, the lip liner, the Charlotte palette, the Jean-Luc everything palette? Take your pick, let me know, I'm curious. I don't know if I could pick a favorite because they're all so different items. They all have a specific purpose that differ from the other items. So I can only really go off of being my favorite type of item. You know what I mean? All in all though, to me, the look is beautiful. I think the products all worked together wonderfully. The Everything palette is literally everything you need when it comes to an everyday wearable look. And for $30, this is a steal. The shadow quality is so good in this palette and I'm so happy that I got it. Thank you again, Jean-Luc, for sending it over. It was a blast to play with and I'm so excited to try more from your brand. Speaking of Jean-Luc Cosmetics, these lipsticks are phenomenal. phenomenal, or at least the nude shade I tried is phenomenal. And assuming the formula is going to be the same between all of them, these are great matte lipsticks. Obviously you can't tell that it's matte because I put a glass gloss on top of it, but before I did that, it was wearing really well. Next, the Anastasia Cream Bronzer and Blush. I love these things. I didn't think I was gonna like them as much as I do. I thought they were gonna have more of like a satiny sort of glowy finish, and they don't at all. The bronzer is definitely matte. I don't have any extra luminosity added to my skin. And the blush, I don't know if it's matte or not specifically. It doesn't say anywhere I saw. I could be wrong. But this formula for this specific color, the Peachy Keen, it just melted into the skin and then looked like my skin. So that leads me to believe that it's just got more of a natural satiny kind of finish, I guess. I don't really know for sure, but it looks beautiful on the skin. However, I will say, based on the pigmentation, I wouldn't put it on the back of your hand or on the brush and put it on the face. Just go ahead and put it on the face, because once you cover it with powder and everything, a lot of the color got lost when it looked super pigmented before I set my face. So just be careful with that. Definitely use more than you think you need. Oh, I skipped a step, sorry. The One Size Concealer. This is not medium to full. It says it's medium to full. I don't believe it. I think it's just full. But it is very buttery, very soft and creamy. They got all of that right, hit the nail on the head. The only thing I did not like about this is if you're not gonna set this and you have creasy under eyes, it's gonna crease. I had to blend it out probably 3 or 4 times before I could set it because it just kept cracking and creasing and getting really liney and gross looking. But once I did blend it out and set it, it locked in. It didn't move at all after that. I'm pretty sure I could have just left my under eyes alone and not put any eyeshadow underneath them and I would still be crease free. So this little baby right here is a powerhouse concealer, just waiting for me to use it more. The Nudegasm face palette. I don't think this is worth $75. I know all you Tilbury diehards are probably gonna slap me in the face for that, but just for 75 bucks, there should at least be multiple shade variants for people that can't just wear these shades. But if every skin tone had this available for them, the formula is so beautiful. The contour is the perfect shade for me to be cool toned and actually be a contour. The highlighter is gorgeous. I mean, it's like Hourglass and Jeffree Star had a baby, and this is the highlighter they made. So the 2 shades I used are beautiful. The formula's great. I just don't think it's fair that there's not multiple shade options. Then, oh yeah, the Buxom Lip Liners. I think I'm gonna buy probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 more of these so I can have a full range that compare with just about any lipstick. The tip on these, like I said already, it's perfection. I'm sure you already know my thoughts on this because I was so lit up about them when I used them. And lastly, the Make It Big collection. The gloss, I was sort of disappointed because I thought it was just going to be a plumper, not a plumping gloss. But I am glad that they have so many shades of this so that since it is a gloss, you can use it like a gloss and get some pigment out of it, but still have plumping properties while you get that glossy pigment. This liner is fantastic. Give me brush tip over felt tip all day long. Then the Lash Primer and Mascara. Holy cow, did this give my lashes a big boost. I've already got quite a bit of length in my lashes, but volume is something that I don't have. So the primer just spreading my lashes and giving them good clean length was nice, but this mascara giving me that clumped up in a good way volume that I so love and desire is phenomenal. Make It Big mascara is the way to go, especially for 12 bucks. And with that, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the random products we had today to throw on my face. I hope you had fun testing them out, seeing if they would work or not. And I hope you had as much fun as I did seeing what kind of look got created with the products. If you did happen to enjoy it, even just a little bit, don't be afraid to give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you did. If you want to see this look or more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, then please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.